Remember, they're changing my voice. I was talking about the wordplay in Santa Cruz, right? Satan's Cruise. And he had the movie The Lost Boys, which is about a bunch of vampires who are based on demons. Where do we get the idea of a vampire? We get the idea of the vampire from the cult of Set and the demons of Set and the family of Zeus. Right? Dracula, draw, see, you lay. Why? Because it's an LGBT. The devil, no offense to the LGBT community, is LGBT. Why? Because the devil is the embodiment of evil. He's got to represent for all evil. And there's no way to represent for all the sins in the Bible. And remember, it's the Western culture that took over the world, that gave you the Bible. So they're saying from their perspective, the evil must come with that particular group. No offense to the LGBT community, but the LGBT community. That's what they're saying. That's what it says in their book. They say that the gays don't tolerate a witch, stone her to death. That a man who lays with another man is detestable. That's what it says in the Bible, to stone him to death. So the devil is gay, and all these mythological creatures, right? Myth and math, and hit magic, and height magic, and that's the story for another day. The sacred math, they say at Freemasonry. Might and myth. And who's might? Zeus, who plugged Ganymede right where the sun don't shine? His choir boy, his altar boy, which they have been repeating in satanic rituals in churches across the world? Church, Kirk, where we get Circe. As they say, old Mother Circe. And a circle, and a pentagram, and Circe. A circle, a ring of thieves. A cabal. And the Kabbalah. And the Ka meaning spirit, Baal, whose Greek equivalent is Zeus, his Roman equivalent is Jupiter, and his Egyptian equivalent is Set, whose name is a play on words for seat and sat. Who sat on the seat while you were suffering? Who are the rich colonial scum? Seat in, seat on. On is Iunu, Heliopolis. Ra's call center, the Greeks called it Heliopolis, named after Helios, a deity of the sun. And you go to church on Sunday and he drives a chariot, and you see in the Bible, they talk about the chariots of God, the storm of the Lord. A whirlwind swirling down on the head of the wicked, which goes back to psychology and psyche. And psycho, logos, meaning order, a psychopath's order, psychosis, psychotic, devils. That's how we get treated by devils. So are you to be surprised when neo-colonial devils who assassinated Martin Luther King a mere 13 years for the M for Mason, the 13th floor, the Master Mason, before I was born, the same year that Bob Marley died under suspicious circumstances. Now, there's one thing to be a conspiracy theorist. It's another thing to have enough evidence for fucking it to be clear cut. When you see smoke, more smoke than you've seen in your fucking life, it's probably a fire. Call it a hunch. And even the word fire is a play on words for free eye, and F-airy and fairy. Oh man, I should be calling them names right about now. But I'm not going to do that to maintain my pattern here of not breaking the rules. So, as you see, I was treated unfairly by Satan's Cruz. From here to Santa Cruz and beyond. And I lived in unincorporated Morgan Hill, right? In the Santa Cruz Mountains. And Morgan Hill goes back to Morgana Le Fay. If I'm not mistaken here. Morgana. A sorcerer in Western culture. And more gay in hell. And more gay in hell. And more gay in hell. And how do they present me in my videos? Those scoundrels? They present me as if I'm fucking gay. And fucking El. And I don't worship the Canaanite deity El. I'm not fucking crazy. My arguments make sense. And part of the reason why they shrink from debate is because they know that I'm right. I'm smarter than they are. And I'm the son of God. And they're just a mere rebel whose lives are like the grass in the field. Will I rise like the sun? with every righteous spirit, every righteous one. As I say in my songs, right? I say, I was right. I was right. I was God's sacrifice. And I seek Ra face, not the Hebrew meaning evil, but God's face. When you do the right thing and you look like a righteous person. And why didn't they see it in me? Because they worship the devil. Because birds of a feather flock together. Because they're the children of the devil, John 8, and their inclinations and desires and proclivities, their tendencies, are like their patriarchs. Those who persecuted the children of Haru, the hero. You see, Haru is a black African hero, and I don't care about race, it's just the facts. And Set is Zeus, the king of the West. And the West in Egyptian mythology is the realm of the dead. And unless we're talking about Osiris, the Lord of the Black, we are talking about Set and Anubis and jackals and the desert. They deserted their duty to God Almighty. They betrayed the solar boat. To them, the boat is the boa and the T, the feminine suffix. So why would they shun the bright, brilliant Son of God, whose path is righteous? So therefore, it's like the morning sun, shining ever brighter until the full light of day. My vindication, like the noonday sun. The sun tells my story. It's like a bridegroom leaving his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. I run in the paths of God's righteous commands. I have been vindicated. As I said many years ago, I have been vindicated. God allowed me to gloat over the rebels who took the infinite love of God and rejected it, who mocked God Almighty as He offered them eternal pleasure. Because in a life that is short, God didn't make it so everyone would naturally kiss their fucking ass. That is some punk shit. That is some sniveling, sissy, namby-pamby shit that would make one gay break a fucking desk over the head of another. No one can respect that. That is punk. That is bunk, and that is punk. And God so loved the world that He sent His only begotten Son. His soul got in. Got in through the gate to heaven Almighty, so that they would do the right thing and respect Him. Last of all, He sent His Son. Parable of the tenants. He said they'll respect Him because He's the top martial artist ever. He's the image of God. The Lord is a warrior, and He's the image of the Almighty warrior. But did they? They said He's the heir. Shun Him. They said He's the heir. Target Him. Target Him. They said He loves like nobody ever has, and they want their detestable rape by deception relationships to seem ideal. Not only if you were married to Him and you had sense, not only would they sleep on the couch, you would fucking kill them with the couch and wipe out your disgrace. They worship the fucking devil, whose name is a play on words for D, vile, which refers to the D. Give her the D, the dick. Her name it's a play on words for, his name is a play on words for lived. His play on word is a play on words for Eve, L-D, where the snake in the garden is a phallic symbol. Knowledge of good and evil, including detestable sexual acts performed by the lowest forms of filth, who have no regard for their body, which is supposed to be the temple. And they have turned their backs on God. And now the righteous one is back, and I am He. And you have finished your treachery by turning your back on me too. And as they say, now spake the hero, He who is the gate. trampling the fucking worms and handing them their fate.